Hi folks, if there's anybody watching yet, this is Steve Pivovarsky. I'm over at the WW&F Railway. I am the marketing director here, and we're going to take a look at our live steam operations here today on, Thursday, August 6th. A late start in the year for steam for obvious reasons, but we're excited to be opening to the public tomorrow with an evening train to milepost. Sorry about that little interruption there. I just had to get over onto our Wi-Fi here at the Sheepscot campus. You can hear number 9 coming into Sheepscot Station right behind me. We'll take a look at that. So we have a special load on the train today. We're looking at 3 flat car loads, 1 of rail and 2 of machine tools. These are machine tools from the Bridgeton and Saco River Railroad's machine shop. They spent many years down at the Edaville. Just gonna change my orientation here for everyone. Get a little bit better of a landscape view here. Hi Abby, that's so great to hear. We hope you can visit us soon. Just so you know, if you haven't seen, we're running trains tomorrow the 7th and then again this Saturday the 8th. And then we're running every other Saturday throughout the rest of August and September. So come on down. Now this is actually the first time that we're live streaming here at the WW&F, and just let us know what you think. You know, tell us, is this something you really enjoy? Is this something you'd like to see more of? Because it's something that we can absolutely do. Let's take a closer look at number 9. This summer we made some repairs to number 9's pilot. You can see now sitting a bit higher. It's had some reason for today's test is to go and check it out on the line and see how the engine rides and make sure everything works as intended. You can also see number 9 just got a fresh coat of graphite on its smoke box, so it's looking in good. A couple of folks looking at our carloads here and just making sure everything's secured for the ride up to Main Locomotive and Machine Works, which are where these machines are going. Kind of cool to rack them up in a sort of interactive display where folks who are riding the WW&F will be able to get off the train there and be able to check out a belt-driven locomotive and machine. So that's a very cool project being done in collaboration with the WW&F, ML&M, and Main Narrow Gauge. Now, for those of you who have been on the Sheepscot campus, you know it's a pretty rural location. I'm not promising the best Wi-Fi connectivity as we go throughout the railroad here, but the goal is to have you guys get on the train with us on Caboose 320 at the end of the train. So hopefully you don't miss me. But as we are headed, there may be some connectivity issues that we can't really do much about. But just stick with us and we'll do our best to keep you apprised of what's going on. As we're streaming, feel free to ask any questions and I'll do my best to answer them in the live feed. And just, throw anything out there that you wonder about. I see lots of good feelings about the rail. There's our superintendent, Jason LaMontagne. He's talking to Railroad President David on today's train. We have our train master, Ed LeCoyer, who's on the caboose right now. Up in the cab we have West Carpet as our... That's a great question, Abby. So on enclosed cars, masks are required at all times. On the open cars, social distancing is required, and we've cut the capacity by about 50% for our coaches. So you'll be able to social distance fairly easily on the cars. But like I said, on any enclosed cars, masks are required. Yeah, it's amazing to see the work going on at the East Broad, both 2-foot gauge and 3-foot gauge. We're pretty proud to be part of it. Our crew is... So as soon as they wrap up the crew briefing, we're gonna head back down to the caboose. And for anybody who's... Number 9 is steaming this year. And we're pleased to have it back in service, getting ready for our runs tomorrow and Saturday, and then every other weekend for the rest of August and September. Tickets are available at WW&F.ry.org. That's our... And we're doing all ticket sales in advance this year as a way of helping with social distancing and doing contactless sales. So keep that in mind. They're just going to wrap up their crew briefing. This is a good time for us to head back to the caboose. Some interesting detail in that car, that was one of the original cars from the railway. It was actually used in the scrapping process of the railroad and in the 1930s. And when the car went out of service, it and number 9, along with one of our boxcars, 309, all went south to Thomaston, Connecticut, where they were under the custodianship of Alice Ramsdell and her dad. Until the mid-1980s. They were the first pieces, well, car 118 was one of the first pieces of rolling stock to come back to the museum. In fact, the first to come back to the museum. It actually, its arrival here preceded having a main line or any track built. That car was sort of one of the things that sealed the deal in the formation of the museum. This is Jason LaMontagne. He's our railroad superintendent. 36 people are watching you.
At some point, if you'd like, we can do a quick rubble walk through of what's on these cars and where they came from.
Cool.
If you'd like one of us to do that, let us know. The question for you is right now or...
Do we have time for it now?
Either way.
Let's do it now. Sure.
So, let's start back here. I'm going to sit here too. Okay, fine. Very good. Tell me when you're ready. Ready. All right. So we have 3 flat car loads here today. The 3 flat car loads were all legitimately planned to be moved from Seasfit to main locomotive machine, which is our neighbor. We have siding into this location. So we had to unload it here onto our flat cars while he went back to the tree north. And the plan is now to move it to his property, and he is then going to unload our flat cars and put it into deep storage for that. So the content, the most prominent content here is the floor of the machine shop from the Bridgeton and Saco River Railroad. And then later the Bridgeton Harrison Railroad. What happened was Edaville Railroad in Massachusetts was formed when Ellis Atwood bought the assets of the Bridgeton in Massachusetts just after assets were steam locomotives and freight cars and the machine shop. So the machines here are quite antique. Some of these are well back into the 1890s, including the lathe, the drill press, there's a belt going horizontal mill, and there's also a belt going shaper. So these are very old antique machines with main people gauge pedigree. If you look towards the back end of this car, you see a small gasoline-powered locomotive. So this was built by a small company called Bailey. My understanding of the history of these is that there were all of 8 of these built, and no more. They were built in Carver, Massachusetts for the cranberry bog industry, I believe in the 20s and 30s. And this particular one was Ellis Atwood's before he formed Eaton. So in a way, this planted the seed which became Eaton. This is sort of the root of that preservation effort. That's a pretty important piece. That was in deep storage with this equipment. This equipment is all owned by Maine Narrow Gauge Railroad, so they partnered with Maine Locomotive Machine to put it into storage. There's a nice plan stage to this equipment. The idea is that ML&M is going to build a scaled down representation of Coachman Bean structure, which represents the Bridgestone and Harrison machine shops, and then this equipment will be put in there.
Could you speak a little louder?
How much of that did you get?
I think we're doing okay, just louder from now on.
Okay. Anyway, so the idea is to build a small version of the Bridgestone and Harrison machine shop on ML&M property, and it would be alongside our main line. And then this equipment would go in there, and then it would be a stop along the railroad to get to stop and see the original equipment. So that's the current idea. It's not definitely stock. So this car here, you can see is loaded with rail. This rail was rejected for use on our main line. It either would have required work to be able to be used, or it would have been scrapped. Instead of either of those, we are sending it to Maine Locomotive Machines and their siding length to store more of the equipment that's otherwise taking up space in our yard. The third flat is yet more machine equipment that was in the same container as the machine shop. So together, this original Bridgestone machine tools, along with the machine tools that are underneath that gray